The Guardians have not been a great time lately, guys. They're playing their worst baseball of the year. They just went 1-5 on a road trip. They lost 3 to Milwaukee, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. Their lead in the American League Central is down to 2 games over Minnesota and Kansas City, both who are playing well. And the American League Central has a chance to have 3 teams reach the playoffs for the first time ever. The question is, guys, will the Guardians still win the division?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, I'm the optimist on this show, okay? So I'm going to be I'm the voice of reason around here. Listen, hear me out. The Guardians play a lot of these series to finish the year at home. The Guardians are best at home. So with that being said, I think that it starts tonight when they play the Rangers. I think that we got to hit some home runs. Once you see them home runs back, because that's what Progressive Field has become, a hitter's ballpark. So therefore, I think that that's going to spark this team to start hitting again. The defense is still there. Just need some pitching to come back along. Guys are getting healthier. Gavin Williams will probably catch his flow. You know, to him, it's still what spring training to him, right? A little bit out of
this point,
yeah,
just
so,
out of it.
Yeah, so I think that we got to relax. Relax. We'll be fine.
Tyvus is the optimist.
Yeah.
You're the pessimist. I'm the voice of reason.
I think it's unfair to say I'm a pessimist.
It was negative Nancy for the first 90 minutes.
I've been hyping up the Guardians all year more than anybody else.
You build them up to shoot them down.
So
let's go.
Tyvus on one and I'm on the other. But on this particular question, I'm right there with Tyvus.
Thank you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm still at about a 7. They're going to win the division. Couple things. To Tyvus's point, they're 38-20 at home. 7 of the last 11 series are at Progressive Field, where they're just a better team. They still have the best weapon in all of baseball, which is their bullpen. And despite the fact that bats have gone ice cold over the last 2 weeks, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Like, they've still found ways to win. I understand the road stretch, 1-5, not good enough. In the 57 innings they played, they scored 1 or fewer runs in 55 of those innings. Zach Meisel sent that tweet out yesterday. But at the end of the day, even despite them playing their worst baseball, they've been a 500 team over the last 10 games. They're going back home. The schedule is tough, but they're playing those games at Progressive in front of the hometown fans. And I just still feel confident that they are the best team in the division, despite the recent rough patch.
At the moment, they're not playing like the best team in the division. Mm-hmm. For the last 6 weeks, they've been the 3rd best team in the division. They were fortunate to have a big lead. You guys have brought up home field advantage. They have it down the stretch. It's a big deal. And even though I hate the way they're playing right now, and there's a lot of things ticking me off about the way they're playing right now and a lack of commitment to winning from the organization, I still, even though I'm a pessimist, apparently, if I had to bet, I would still make the Guardians the favorite. You asked me a few weeks ago, I would have said 90% they're going to win the division. I'm down to like 55% now, but it's still more than 50. It's still more than Kansas City and Minnesota. Kansas City's got a tough series coming up this weekend. They're playing Philadelphia. And the Guardians playing, I think, 80% or 75% of their remaining games at home is a pretty big deal. They've just been much better at home. And so I would still pick them to win. But they've got to start turning it around. I mean, they can't survive. You said they went 5-5 in their last 10, but they've got a losing record since the middle of July. That's a long stretch of time. And they are playing outside of the bullpen. Nothing about the team is very good right now. You got Bybee and the bullpen, and not much else to hang your hat on. If the lineup doesn't start getting hits and runners in scoring position, they're not going to go 5-5 and 10. And you're playing Kansas City next week. That's going to be a massive series. Now, there was a time a week ago where they had lost the first 2 to Minnesota. If Minnesota had won the last 2 games of that series, they would have been in first place. The Guardians won 5 in a row. They've been very up and down. Yeah. If you look at them late since the All-Star break, it's like they lost 4 of 5, then they won 5, then they lost 7, then they won 5. Now they've lost 5 of 6. It's been, unfortunately, the losing streaks lately have been longer than the winning streaks. Yeah. They've got to get something going offensively, and they need to have a shakeup of the lineup. They need to call up some of the guys from the minors and send. I don't want any more Emans, no Schneeman, no Freeman. Get them out of here.
Well, it's going to come down to Bobby Witt Jr. versus Jose. That's how I look at it.
Right now, Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt is on fire right now. So, Jose, you better spark up, brother. You better figure something out and get this team going.
They have 2 series against Kansas City in the next 4.
Yeah.
1 at home, 1 on the road.
Right. Kansas City's playing very well.
They don't play Minnesota again, do they?
No.
So Minnesota's done. They got those games against Kansas City. The rest of the schedule down the stretch isn't that difficult.
Well,
they have the Dodgers, I understand. Yep. I know they got 2 series against Kansas City, but they also have St. Louis in there.
Well, St. Louis is not terrible. They're a mediocre team.
It's a team you should be able to beat if you're competing for
I mean,
a division's title.
It's baseball. You don't know who you're going to face in Pittsburgh.
It could be Skeens and Jones. I get that. Bull, last thing on this.
Yeah.
When we talked about at the middle point of the season, we were like, the Guardians can win 100 games. They can win 105 games.
Now I'm not sure they're going to win 90.
I was going to. What's the confidence level they reached the 90 win?
I mean, to win the division, they're going to have to win 90. So I'll say they get to the low 90s, 92 maybe. But I'm not. Again, I'm like 55% that they'll get there.
That's crazy. 2 weeks can change all that.
Everything.